Hello, 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 family. How are you tonight? How are you this evening? I welcome you. One second, let me get my tablet. Welcome you tonight. Um, okay. Hello, hello, hello. As you're joining, put in the comments where you're joining from. Let us know where you're joining from. Put a 1 in the comments if you are married. Put a 2 if you are not. 1 if you are married and 2 if you are not. Thank you for joining. Please share the live. Again, let us know where you are joining from. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being here. It is truly um, it's awesome. I'm sorry, you guys, just trying to get my computer, the laptop going straight over here, the iPad. I'm sorry. But thank you guys so much for joining tonight. We are live on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and our Facebook group, and on TikTok. So as you are joining, please share, give likes, um, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know where you are joining from. And if you are married, put a 1. If you are not, put a 2 in the comments. Tonight, we are going to be um, learning how to do marriage God's way. You know, so many times we start off doing things because it's what it feels good to us. It's just the right thing. However, if you haven't lined up what your heart desire and what God desire for you, you will miss the mark. And so I encourage you tonight. We just want to join, just well, I don't want to keep you long, but I do want you to know that it is very important for you to understand that if you are going to be in a relationship one with someone, you want to make sure that this relationship is going to be productive. You want to make sure that this relationship is going to be conducive to what God desired it to be. What do I mean by that? You want to make sure that this relationship is positive, it's producing, it's giving God's glory. You are giving him honor in this relationship, and anybody and anything that comes into your life that does not produce good fruit or not bringing out good things in your life, then you need to cut those relationships. You need to cut those ties. I can say for me, I've been in relationships before, and it was draining. They were draining the life out of me, and it wasn't healthy. It wasn't productive. It wasn't positive. And so what I had to do was I prayed for one, and God, if this person in my life is not meant to be in my space, I need you to move this person out of my life. Now, mind you, this is pre-marriage. But now we got some that we go on in and we in marriage, and the husband or the wife is not positive. The husband or the wife is not producing. The husband or the wife are not being who they are supposed to be. What do you do in those situations? If you've ever asked yourself the question, I'm already in this thing, but it's just not looking right. It just my spouse is just not doing what they should do. What do I do then? If you've ever asked yourself that question, give me a thumbs up, because I know that I did. It did. They were not. We were not on the same path. We didn't have the same goals. We didn't have the same aspirations. And so what happened is we butt heads a lot. We didn't see things the same way. We didn't have the same mindset, and it caused a lot of confusion and friction in our marriage, in our relationship, in our couple. And so, in those instances, what do you do? What do you do once you've said I do to somebody, but yet that person is not lining up with what you thought they would line up? They're not the person that they were during that dating phase. How many of you still got that person that shows up during the dating phase, but once you've said I do, you have a different person. Because I need you to know things change after that first year, second year, 5 year in. Why is that? Because people change. You get more lax, you get more comfortable, and you begin to see who you actually said I do to. So if you are not happy, if you are not transparent, if you don't have good dialogue with others, with your spouse, I mean, if you don't have a good dialogue and able to share with them and let them know that, hey, I'm not receiving from you what I need, then I got some things I need to tell you. I got some things that I can share with you that can help you along the way. Because yes, I've been in relationships and I've been in situations to where my relationship ended, my marriage is ended. However, I'm in my marriage now. We've been married going on 9 years, and I set and my mindset and my state of mind was, God, when I go into this, I'm going to do everything in my power. I'm going to do everything that I know how to do, and I'm going to trust you with the rest. Why? Because I'm only responsible for Nakia and Nakia's actions. I'm not responsible for him. I'm responsible for me. So when your wife or your husband is cutting up and acting like they don't have good sense, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep it real with you, because we do that. We get into places where we act as if we wasn't raised correctly, or we don't know how to behave and know how to govern ourselves. As women, there's a certain way to govern yourself. As men, there's a certain way to lead and guide your family. We have things set in place to teach us. I know for me, I'm a Southern girl. My parents made sure that I knew to respect my man. I knew not to cut up in front of company. Child, look at here, because my mom would tell you, my mom and my dad could be good mad at each other, but they would never argue in front of people. Why? Because they respected each other enough to know this is not the time nor the place. So if you have beef with your spouse, if he didn't say something that you feel like he shouldn't have said, or she didn't say something that she shouldn't have said, then you deal with that behind closed doors. But never bring that in front of company, in front of your children, in front of family. Why? Because you two are the ones that's walking this thing out. You two are the ones that got to answer to one another. Because what happens is, Lord, it was so funny when my mom, when I in my first marriage, my mom would say, "Don't tell me your business. Keep your business to yourself." Why? Because you gonna get over what he done, and I'm gonna still be mad at what he did to you. Give me a thumbs up if your mama or parents was like that, because we go back and we run and we tell people, oh, my husband did this and he acted this way, not understanding that people don't forgive like you may forgive. People don't love your spouse like you love your spouse. So you'll go back into this thing and be all right. And they're in the back of their mind still thinking, girl, how can you be with this man after he did such and so? Man, how can you be with that chick and she dogged you out? Because they don't have the expectation for one another, or the level of respect and love that you have for one another. So you have to make sure to keep other folks out of your relationship. Give me some hearts. Give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. Keep other people out of your relationship. Why? It is very important that you handle your business and not allow other folks to be in your business. How to do marriage God's way. Women, make sure that you are respecting your man. You say, y'all keep telling us that. Yes, because I see on so many different instances that women, we are not respecting our man. It is very important that you respect the man that you're walking with. Why? You want respect. You want to be loved. You want to be taken care of. All he asks for is for you to respect him, but you can't give him that. Why? Because he don't make $100,000. Y'all don't live in the finest house. Y'all don't drive the finest car. And so you feel like he's not worth that much. He's not worth, you giving him that respect. And so if you got those type of things going on, you really need to check yourself, because it doesn't matter of his status. It doesn't matter of how much is in his bank account. It's what he is, his potential. It's who God has made him to be. And will you help support, push that man to be the greatest? Will you help push that man out? It's so funny. Me and my daughter, we talk about all the time the acrimony. You know, she had to put all that into that brother. She had invested all that time, all her hard-earned money, all her sweat and tears into him. And at the end, she lost it and she couldn't take it anymore. She walks away from all of it. She leaves it alone. And he gets with somebody else. And everything that you labored for, somebody else is reaping the benefits. I don't know about you, but I would be mad. But when you think about how her character was and how she went about and how she handled those things, she got what she deserved. And so my encouragement to you ladies is to make sure that you are respecting the man that you are with. When you don't understand, when you don't see it all, I want you to step back and think about the man that you married. I want you to step back and begin to seek God and pray and say, God, what am I supposed to see in him that I'm missing? What do I have harboring in my heart that I can't respect and love him where he's at? What am I holding, God? What have I held on to that's causing me not to love the man that I'm with? Why can't I respect him? Why can't I honor him? Why is it so hard for me to reverence my husband? Why, when I look at him, my nose turns up? Y'all know how we do it. Rolling your eyes. You got a stank attitude. That's not the way that we should govern ourselves as women of God. Why? Because God has called us to be a helpmeet. He's called us to be the support. So if I'm going to support you, that means that I got to have good customer service skills. Now, y'all, if you have watched us any length of time, you know I've told y'all that I have to really work on my facial expressions, because my facial expressions tells you everything. It tells you what I like and what I do not like, what done got on my nerves and what's on the nerve. You know, you can see it all on my face. What's the song? It's written all over her face. It is. It's gonna be all on my face, and my husband knows it quickly. And so you have to make sure that you are recognizing the things that you give off, your body language, your posture, the way you speak, the way you govern yourself, the way you're looking, the way you are listening. Because we don't active listening, we don't practice active listening. Lord, I can't get the words out. Active listening. And so we didn't miss half of what they've expressed to us. Babe, I really wish you would do X, Y, and Z. But all you've heard was, babe, I really wish. And we done flew off the handle. We done missed everything that he's expressed to us. I really wish that you would just hear me out. I really wish that you wouldn't jump the gun on things. I really wish that you would just take time before you make decisions. Not don't be an impulsive shopper. Can you make sure to check the budget before you just go off and just do things? There are things that we need to make sure that we are very attentive to. Women, we are very, very, very wise, and we are powerful, and we are very intuitive and knowing how to persuade. And so, because we have those skills, we can lead our men to places that's not good things, that's not in good paths, down good paths. And so, I would say to you, if you are a woman that have her way with words, why don't you use your words to build him up? If you are very intelligent, wise woman, why don't you use your words to pray for him and build him up? Speak life to him. We have power in our tongues. The word tells us that life rests in our tongues. It's death and life. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. So what you speak, you have. So if you say that your husband ain't no good, if you say that he's never amount to anything, that's what you're going to have. And what's happening is we are creating the atmosphere for singles to repeat the same things that we're doing. People that haven't said I do yet, they're in the same situations because they are repeating the same thing that they see in married people do. Oh, it's okay to talk to your spouse this way. No, it's not. It's okay to treat them this way. No, it's not. You treat people the way you want to be treated. You treat people the way you want to be treated. I'm just stumbling all over my words tonight. You treat people the way you want to be treated. You love people the way you want to be loved. I remember this guy telling me years ago, he said, you can't love me the way you want to love me. You can't love me the way you want to love me. And I'm thinking, how? I know how to love you. So why I can't? No, because I may not need that, what you're trying to give me. I may need X, Y, and Z, and you're trying to give me A, B, and C. Love me how I need to be loved. The five love languages. It's a very good book. If you have not read it, you need to read it. Why? Because everybody receive love and desire love in a different manner. When my husband comes and he wants to give me flowers and all this, that's really not the thing that tickles my fancy. But you go and you take out that trash, boy. You go take them that car and go get my car washed and go get my oil changed, baby. We got plans tonight. That's the way I'm acts of service for me. And that's what we need to know is how do I need to love you? You need to tell me, teach me how to love you. I can't take on because this is how I love the last man or this is how I love the last woman, then this is what you want as well. This is what you're willing to accept. That's not always the case. And so I really want to encourage you that if we're going to do marriage God's way, regardless if you said I do already or not, you are going to have to seek God for his wisdom, for his guidance. You're going to have to walk in forgiveness. You're going to have to walk in forgiveness. Hashtag forgiveness. Whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, it doesn't matter. I want you to hashtag forgiveness because you need to forgive and forgive quickly. Forgive and forgive quickly. Why? There are times when we do things to one another that's not intentional. Well, we hurt one another. We say something to one another that wasn't intentional. You say it out because you're angry. You said it because you feel like you've been pushed in a corner, whatever the case may be, and you've hurt the other person. And so now what you have to do, you have to be very careful and make sure that you go back and apologize. Honey, I apologize for how I said that to you. That was not my intent. That was not how I was trying to get that across to you. And just take the blame for what you did. I said that and I didn't mean it. I felt like I was getting cornered. So I felt like that was my way of attack, but it wasn't right for me to do that. And I apologize. Don't go to bed upset and angry with one another. What if you die in your sleep and now you holding on to that because you feel like you didn't get the opportunity to fix it? The little things that we argue about is really not that serious. And even when it's more than little things, cheated on, stole money, abuse, whatever it is, you still need to make sure that you process, that you sit down, you discuss with one another, you talk things out, not yelling at one another, not talking at one another. Communication is key. Good communication is very important in relationship. Don't talk at me. Please don't talk at me because we're going to have issues. But forgiveness is important. that you practice it all throughout relationship. Before you say I do, when you say I do, after you say I do, during the I do, it's important that you know that I need to forgive and forgive quickly and let stuff go. Stop holding on to what he did yesterday. Stop holding on to what she did last year. Let it go. You are holding on to baggage. You are holding on to toxic things. You're holding on to things that are not conducive. It's not producing good fruit in your relationship. Let it go today. Make the decision to let it go. I get he hurt you. I understand she hurt you. I get it. However, it's hindering you from your prayers from being answered. You're seeking God for things. You're petitioning God for promotions and blessings and for open doors, but those things won't happen in your life if you're harboring feelings in your heart, if you're holding on to unforgiveness. God cannot bless you holding on to those things. Your prayers, they're not going past the ceiling. They're not going past the ceiling. So I tell you today, if there is something that you and your spouse have went at it about, and you just haven't found that resolve in your spirit, I need you to really evaluate your heart. I need you to evaluate your heart and see where you are and allow the Spirit of God to deal with you, and then go and apologize to your man. Go and apologize to your spouse, to your wife. Tell her you love her. Tell her, babe, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry. That was not my intent. But make the decision to do right by one another. Make the decision to say we're going to be in this thing through thick and thin. When we make a vow to one another, it's for better or worse. And I don't think we understand that better or worse. I really don't think we understand that for better or worse, because it gets worse sometimes, y'all, before it gets better. It gets worse. It gets real hard before it gets better at times. So I want you to know, I don't know who I'm talking to, but regardless if you on here tonight or you will catch the replay, I don't know what you're going through, but I need you to know that even though it's hard right now, even though it's pressing right now, I know you at the doorknob ready to walk out, but God said if you hold on and you trust me, that I won't leave you. If you hold on and you trust me, I'll repair his heart. I'll change him. I'll get him right. But I need you to trust me. Focus on me and me only and let him go. What we do, we get so hung up in looking at what they're doing, and we don't stop to see what we're doing. Stop focusing on them and focus on yourself. Focus on your relationship with the Lord and put them in God's hand. I promise you, as sure as my name is Nakia, God will deal with them. Why? Because he made them. He created them. He know all about them. You don't have to do the work. Trust that he will. So, but in this place now that you're standing and you're waiting for God to change, in this place that you're standing and you're waiting for God to move mightily, you're not ridiculing, you're not judging, you're not criticizing. What you're doing is you're still loving him. You're still feeding him when he wants to eat. You're still loving him in the midst of. You're still catering to his needs. You say, Nakia, how can I do all that and I'm hurting? How can I do all that and I don't know what he's doing? How can I do all that and I'm angry on the inside? How? By the Spirit and the power of the living God. Allow God to love him through you. Allow God to change her by your actions. I don't know the exact scripture because I'm not big on this. I don't remember scriptures, y'all, but I know they be in there. But there is a scripture where it's the unbelieving spouse, husband or wife, will be changed by the believing husband or wife. So that tells me that if my spouse gets out of order, if my spouse is not walking the way God desired them to, if my spouse is out of line and he's just living life haphazardly, what that tells me that if I walk right before the Lord, if I walk right before the Lord, that my example will change their heart. We put so much pressure on one another to change, when if we would do the work for ourselves, if we would do the work ourselves and change us, do an internal examination and allow God to do the work in you, you wouldn't worry about what he or she is doing. How to do marriage God's way is trusting God even when you don't understand. It's trusting God even when you're not clear on what's going to happen up the road. It's trusting God when you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. It's trusting God even when you don't understand. God, I don't physically, my body is not responding to my spouse because I got things going on. I don't know how to do this. Well, I don't know the last time we had sex. I don't know the last time we were intimate with each other. I don't know the last time that we held each other and loved on one another. God, how do I do this in the midst of all that? You have to trust God no matter what. But you got to put in some work. That means that you have to apply what he teaches you. When God says, "Oh, it was so funny," and it really wasn't funny, because when he hit me with it, I was like, "Oh, hold on." But God told me plainly that if you don't change, you ain't gonna see the change in nobody else. I'm so worried about my spouse this, my spouse that, my spouse this, but I'm not doing the work I need to do for me, and I was gonna miss the mark. I wasn't going to see my husband get better. I wasn't going to see him improve and live for God and do the things God desired him to do, because I took my focus off of what my focus needed to be on. And my focus should be on who? God. My focus should be on God. Lord, change me. Joyce Meyer wrote that book years ago. I know you can probably find it online on a PDF for it. Lord, change me. That book changed my life, because when I understood that I have to stop looking at everybody else and start looking at myself, it changed my life from the moment that I started reading it. And so I encourage you tonight. I thank you so much for being here. But I encourage you to take a moment to step back. William and I are working on some things for you guys, some resources that's going to help you uh, uh, do some day-to-day things that'll help you in your marriage. We're excited because I know that there are couples out here, there are marriages out here that's struggling. You don't know how to communicate with one another. You don't know what to pray with one another. You don't, the dialogue is missing. Why? Because we're so busy. We're passing. He's going to work. I'm coming in. He's going to work. She's going to work. He's coming in. We're all passing each other. We're not sitting with each other and communing with one another. What we had and what we did before we said I do, we stop doing it when we get in the marriage. And that's a no-no. You build on those things, but you don't stop dating. You don't stop conversating. You don't stop being friends with one another. You don't stop those things. You don't stop bringing the sweet gifts and those things that you were doing before. What it took to get her is what you have to do to keep her. Can I get an amen, somebody? And so I encourage you to make sure that you are seeking God for wisdom. seeking for wisdom. Men, you got some women that will help you push you to the next place. But you got to empower her to help you. You have to empower her for her to become the woman that you need. If you don't equip her and give her the tools that she needs, give her the love that she needs. Equip her with what you need and watch everything that you are petitioning God for to come to pass. Watch it come to pass. But you're not positioning yourself in the right place because you're not positioning her in the right place. She's your help. Allow her to be your help. Apple wouldn't be what Apple is without a customer support team. You need support. You need support, whether it's over the phone or through the little chat thing they have now. You need that bot to be able to help and assist. Why are you not utilizing your help? Why are you not utilizing the customer service that you have? Why are you not using the virtuous woman that you have? She got businesses in her belly ready. She got ideas. She has connections. Why are you not tapping into that? Why are you not tapping into that? Men, tap into it and allow her to become in order for you to be blessed. In order for you to be blessed, she will open doors of favor on your behalf. Your name will be known because of your wife. Your name will be talked about all over the country. Why? Because you got a bad wife. Empower her. Empower her to be great. Empower her to write that book. Empower her to become that boss. Empower her to become that business owner. Empower her to go and buy the land that she's been scoping. Empower her to do the things that's in her to do. She's willing to help. Allow her to help you. Allow her to help you. Do this thing we call marriage together and see how successful the two of you can be. Just watch how God moves on your behalf. And so I thank you tonight. Like I told you guys, I don't want to hold you long, but I thank you so much for joining tonight. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Know that we'll be back live on Thursday, same time. Also, we're going to be having our Black Friday deals coming up. So please, 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 if you have not signed up for our email list, please put a hashtag email so that we can get the link over to you so that you can subscribe to our email list so that when those Black Friday deals drop, you can get it. We got something for you singles. We got something for the married. We got something for those that's engaged. We got something covered for everybody. But I need you to be on that email list so that you can get the first deals that's going to be dropping in just a couple of weeks. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And so you know how we do it. You know how we do it. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, or you can reach out to Will and Nakia on all social media platforms. That we are by our name on all social media platforms. But thank you so much. We love you, and we'll talk to you guys next time.